What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so shout out to the brother Ticket TV because I saw his video earlier today, and it's regards to indirectly to the ongoing scandal that I think is going to blow up in the NBA as the weeks go by. The scandal involving Kawhi Leonard and the Los Angeles Clippers, but it's even more than that. This scandal, which is going to blow up, I believe, it's going to be the Watergate of the NBA. Because I do believe that Adam Silver is covering up his regime. I think they're covering up a lot of things that are going wrong and what they knew and tried to cover up about this situation. I think the feds are going to find out some very damning things. At the very least, Adam Silver's incompetence as commissioner of the NBA is going to be exposed. Aside from this scandal, we see how the player empowerment era has gone too far, in which the players have kind of they pushed their rights as players and their power as players so much that it has affected the quality of the game. You know, now these guys are so sensitive about their stats that they've now implemented a rule. I talked about this a couple of days ago, where these players are now going to be able to shoot half-court shots at the end of quarters, right? And if they miss, which more than likely is going to happen, it's not going to count against their field goal percentage. It's going to be seen as a team miss, not an individual miss. Yet another time when these guys don't want to take personal responsibility for a mistake or their actions. Okay? And when I was growing up, I was always pro player. But now when you get older, you begin to see why you need a balance. And the game has suffered. Viewership has suffered. And I think that the NBA does need, I think all of us agree that the NBA needs new leadership. And I agree with Ticket TV that the man for the job, if he wants it, and I hope that, you know, after probably some initial consternation about taking the job, I hope he does take it, will be Michael Jeffrey Jordan. He's the one man I think that can save the NBA. First of all, I hope that he takes it honestly, just to spite and smite the haters out there. Yeah, I'm not going to lie and say that that's not part of why I promote this and want to push this. Just to stick it to all those clowns out there who have been so used to their guy having his finger close to the pulse of the power of the NBA, you know what I'm saying, all these years. You know what I'm saying, hobnobbing and taking advantage of poor old, naive, weak, milquetoast Adam Silver. You know what I'm saying? Now you actually have Michael Jordan in that seat of power. You can't do that anymore because sports can't they can't supersede the actual real commissioner in that position. And I have a feeling that Michael Jordan would be a powerful commissioner. You know what I'm saying? I don't think necessarily that he would go around barking orders per se and being a dictator like somebody that we know, but just his presence, he'd be definitely the most powerful commissioner we've seen since David Stern. But it would help, I think, that, you know, him being in that position because he's also been a player. He's been a player. He's been on the side arguing for players, but he's also been an executive. For many, many years, he was, of course, the majority owner of initially the Charlotte Bobcats, then, of course, the Charlotte Hornets. Now, people say, oh, well, he failed as an owner of the Charlotte Bobcats or the Charlotte Hornets. And to that I say, he didn't fail. The problem is that the media isn't pushing for big name free agents to sign for a team like the Hornets. when you look at their win percentage in the years that he was the owner, it's not that much lower than the win percentage for Jenny Buss during her tenure as majority owner, as majority owner, or what's the term like they say now, majority governor or principal governor of the Lakers. Their win percentage is like 42%. That's not that great, the Lakers, but nobody calls her a failed owner. But yeah, if Michael Jordan is in that position, I think number one, he would have the respect that no other owner has had in that position ever. Just from a physical perspective. 6'6", 200 and probably 40, 50 pounds. Uh, just from his physical imposement, he'll be a very imposing guy. He's Michael Jordan, the greatest player the game has ever seen. Nobody's really going to question him when he makes a decision. I said this in Ticket's comment section. When he speaks and opens his mouth and expands on something, people are going to be looking at him and showing him the awe and the attention. It'll be like Moses parting the Red Sea. Not to be blasphemous, but that's the respect factor that people have of him. Anything attached to basketball, people are going to listen to what he has to say because you really can't question this guy. This guy's the greatest winner in the modern era, as far as a player is concerned, that we've ever seen. Nobody's really going to question him. And he'd be the perfect candidate for it right now. He's 62 years old, right? So he's still young enough to be an active commissioner, all right? He's still young enough. Today's world, people in sports, as far as coaches, can be vigorous and still very, very active, well into their 70s, even their early 80s now. We see what's going on with Belichick in North Carolina, right? He's in his mid 70s. So yeah, 62 years old, that's young by today's standards, right? So the age thing would be no factor, but Jordan is seasoned enough now to know, after being affiliated with the league now for what, 40 years, over 40 years, he knows the ins and out of the NBA hierarchy. He knows how the league works. He knows how it runs. Okay. He gets in there, and Jordan is the alpha male, and people are going to listen to him. Okay. That's the biggest thing I see. Like, people aren't going to take him for a joke like they do Adam Silver. I'm sorry, that people just don't take Adam Silver seriously. And he doesn't really know the game. And he doesn't really respect the game. But yes, he's a lawyer, but I believe outside of his legal qualifications, Adam Silver was like a marketing guy, advertising. He's about gimmicks. That's what his thing is. He's about gimmicks and how to improve products with let's add this to the game. No. After a while, the game becomes comical. The problem with the NBA wasn't how it was played. Greed is what led to this so-called 3-point explosion. That was greed. That was analytics. You had a bunch of stat nerds like Adam Silver on a lower level tell NBA officials and tell NBA office, the hierarchy of the NBA, The game will be better if we push it out to the perimeter. The game will be more enjoyable to watch if we do this. If we do that, the game will be more offensively enjoyable to watch. Not everybody saw the game like that. A lot of us like the physicality of the 80s and 90s and early 2000s. A lot of us like the center position the way it was played before. A lot of us miss seeing Dikembe Mutombo. A lot of us miss seeing, the other great big men of the NBA. We miss that. Now, I don't know if the game will ever turn back to where it was 20 years ago, 25 years ago, but the way it's going right now, I told you guys they were going to start shooting half-court shots. Now, they haven't officially made a 4-point shot, but now these guys are going to be yakking up more half-court shots. Do we really want to see that? This is what Adam Silver's done. Adam Silver actually told NBA fans, if you can't watch the games, well, just watch highlights. We know the NBA product is bad, so just watch highlights. This guy has to go. He got to go, man. Okay? He got to get up out of there. And it's such a bad situation now that the commissioner has to be somebody who is going to, just his very presence will bring respectability back to the league. Respectability and a guy that's going to unite, also, I would say, help to a certain extent unite the fan base. Now, of course, we got that existing LeBron versus Jordan crap, but with very few exceptions, those guys really kind of admire Jordan. They just don't like Jordan fans. But Jordan would bring a respectability, and he would command respect. And of course, I think that he would build a team around him, knowing some of his shortcomings as far as not being a lawyer, right? Because you don't have to be a lawyer. And I'm pretty sure that over the years, Jordan has learned enough legalese to pass. But the intricacies, he's going to build a team around. He's not stupid. He's not a stupid man. You don't become a multi-billionaire being a dumb person. You know what I'm saying? Jordan will be successful. And you could argue it's going to present another challenge for him. He's been the game's greatest player. Now, some people say, well, he hasn't been that great an owner. Can he go down as the greatest commissioner? Can he save the NBA? That's another challenge for him. And by the way, I said in the comment section for Ticket, we have seen a great player become a commissioner before. George Mikan was the initial commissioner for the ABA in the late 1960s. And he's the one that came up with the idea for the 3-point shot and the red, white, and blue ball. And those were his ideas. And they became iconic with the ABA. And initially, under George Mikan, the ABA thrived. So don't get it twisted. Michael Jordan, knowing the era that he came from, some of the suggestions that he would make may be some stuff that we would want back into the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you something that I think that they should do. I think that one of the things they should consider with the slam dunk contest is bring some of the NFL players who are very athletic and let them compete in the slam dunk contest. I'm not opposed to that, because there's some very great athletes that play football that are stars. There were some good goddamn basketball players. They did not get up to play in the league on a consistent basis. But but as far as athletics and competing in the dunk contest, I'm all for that. I'm just throwing it out there. But yeah, I'm all for this, man. I think that this guy should replace Adam Silver as NBA commissioner. Man, what you guys think?